This song is a fair bit more involved than most of the songs I've done in this series so far. There are quite a lot of chords, the techniques are a bit more advanced. You need to know some of the names of the notes on the bottom strings, play some bar chords, and the structure of the whole thing is a bit long-winded. So what might be a good idea is just to play the whole thing through before we really get started on looking at the details. So I'm going to play you the intro, then I'm going to play you the first verse, which is 16 bars long, then I'm going to play you the second verse, which is also 16 bars long but is very different, especially in the second half. The whole thing revolves around this, which happens twice in the intro, then we get it 3 times in the first verse and 3 times in the second verse. But as I say, each verse then has different endings, which we'll get to. Okay, here we go. My baby don't care for shows, my baby don't care for clothes, my baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for cars and races. My baby don't care for high-town places. Liz Taylor is not his style. Even Lana Turner's smile, something he can see. My baby don't care who knows. My baby just cares for me. And so on. Okay, that's pretty much how I wanted to play it. So let's get on and have a closer look at the various parts. But let's start with the rhythm of the thing. We've got these swung quavers. So on each beat, we're going to play the bass note with the thumb. So for a G chord, for instance, I'm just going to pick the bottom string. And then I'm going to pick the top 3 strings with my picking fingers, like so. And the bass note is going to be longer than the second half of the beat, which is taken up with a chord. So it's not going to be, but this. Almost like a rolling triplety feel, and that's really what swing is all about. Now in terms of this descending bass line, that is the intro phrase, it's a scale of G, and we're going to play G on the 3rd fret of the bottom string, an F sharp on the 2nd fret, open 6th string for E, and then come up to the open 4th string. That's the first half. I would go down to a D, but I've run out of guitar, so I have to go up to my open 4th string. And then we've got C, B, A, that's all on the 5th string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and then the open 5th string, and again coming up to the D. So all of that is. Get used to playing that, because that's really the crux of the song. And all of that then is backed up by these chords on the top 3 strings. For the first half, I'm playing a G chord, the bare bones of a G, just the top 3 strings with a finger on the 3rd fret of the top string, so I get this. Okay. Then in the second half of the sequence, I'm going to switch to a C chord, and I really only need my first finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. I'm going to keep that little finger up there though, where it was for G. That provides a bit of continuity. And now my rundown on the 5th string. And finally, as my thumb comes up to the open 4th string, I'm going to add a finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string to the 2 fingers already there to create D sus4, D7 sus4 in fact. So all together, okay, and a final thing, as in the original, there's kind of a kick on the D7 or D7 sus4, so I'm going to just strum that. So we're going to get this. Now the verse carries on exactly the same way for 2 lines. My baby don't care for shows, my baby don't care for clothes. And then there's a third one that's exactly the same, except instead of going to the D, we go down to a G. My baby just cares for... Okay, and that's the first 6 bars of this 16 bar verse. So the rest of the verse is a bar of A minor 7 and a bar of D7. And then we have 2 bars of B7. My baby don't care for 2 bars of E minor. Cars and races, 2 bars of A7. My baby don't care for... And finally, our D7 sus4 with the break. Hot done places. Okay, and what I want to do now is to go back and look at the bass line for each of those chords. For the A minor 7, I think the original just plays an arpeggio, so it's A, then C, that's by adding the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, up to the E that's on the 4th string, and back to C. Then the D7, because it's leading to a B7, I'm going to play a couple of beats of D7 with the normal bass note D. Then I'm going to come down with a little finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, if that's not too weird, to play D7 over C for a couple of bars before landing on the B7. So that's all going to be... That takes us into the B7, and I've got this. F sharp, open 5th string for the A, B, B, taking the 1st finger off the 4th string for D, and then adding it again for the D sharp. And then I'm not really sure what I'm doing for the E minor, but something very like the A minor, where I'm just going to play maybe the arpeggio, something like that. For the A7, it's clear, and you can hear this very clearly on the recording. A for 2, then there's a G in the bass, F sharp in the bass, E in the bass, and then our D7 sus4. So, have a listen. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for cars and races. My baby don't care for hot town places. So far so good. The second verse starts exactly the same way. The first 6 bars are identical, and then we go to 3 bars of C and a bar of F sharp 7. So I'll go from the 3rd line. It's something he can see. My baby don't care. Okay, and as far as the bass goes there, again, I'm just playing the arpeggio, maybe playing some open strings, because it all kind of works. For the C. For the F sharp 7, I've got a single bar there. I'm probably going to play 6, 5, 4, 5. Something he can see. My baby don't care. That'll do. And then half a bar each of G. Who knows? F7, going down to a bar of E7, is before finally A minor 7. My baby just cares. D7 sus4 for me. And finally we're into our familiar descending bass line again. On the A minor 7, maybe that. A, B, C, C sharp, D7. Who knows it? My baby just cares for me. Alright, phew. That's the whole thing, except that, of course, we then have the piano solo, and we get the whole thing once more to finish with an extended, different final ending, and that's what I want to look at now. So in the second verse we go to our 3 bars of C and our F sharp 7 and this descending G, F7, E7. Then this time we go A minor 7, D7. My baby just cares for... And we end up on this, which is B minor 7, flat 5. First finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and these 2 fingers are on the 3rd fret of the 4th and 2nd strings, and I'm not playing the outer strings. That's B minor 7 flat 5 or B half diminished. My baby just cares for, my baby just E7 cares for. And because we're going from D7 to a B half diminished, B minor 7 flat 5, I'm going to go just as we did at the in the first verse. C in the bass from the D7. My baby just cares for, and for dramatic effect I'm not going to pick those 2 bars. Then I've got A minor 7, D7, G. My baby just cares for me. And the final ending, that is, my baby just cares for me. A scale of G major starting at the top, down to the open 3rd string, and then an arpeggio G, B, D, G, which you could play a couple of different ways. I'm using the 4th fret of the 3rd string for the B. You could use the 2nd string open. And we finish off with a G6, like this. So, to round off the whole thing, let me play from the 2nd verse for the very last time into the final ending. Wish me luck. This tailor is not his style, and even Liberace's smile. Something he can see. I wonder what's wrong with baby. My baby just cares for, my baby just cares for, my baby just cares for me. And that's it.